Hey everybody, it's Kathy here, and today we're playing along with Scraplift Crafternoon, and that is the girls and I, led by Tara. We're scraplifting Darla Weber this week, and this is the layout that we've been chosen to lift. So I'm really excited to get on with this and get moving with the layout. As I said, this is the Scraplift Crafternoon, so the crew are coming together and we are all going to interpret that layout our own way, and I'm really excited to get in and have a look at what everybody else is doing. So what I've done here is I'm actually going to build this layout from a whole lot of scraps that I've left over from previous layouts that I've got on my desk, and the colors are all going to match my photos, which you just briefly saw then. So what I've done is I have divided that black and grey chevron-y paper, and I've added in the green there from Pink Fresh. Now the chevron paper is Vicky Bouton, as is this peachy triangular geometric one as well. So I'm just utilizing what's lying around, and that's always a great way because they're getting used up and put onto layouts. Now unfortunately, sometimes when you purchase these papers, they are from pads and they do get a bit burry when you cut into them, and that's because of all of the paper pulp in between. And so I'm just making sure that they're nice and smooth as I'm layering them up on this layout. Now I've chosen a peach coloured framing for this layout, and that's because there's some peach colors in my photos, but I didn't want it to be overpowering. I just wanted to be part of the actual layout. So I'm putting in the green there because that's the green foliage, and I just wanted to carry the green through from the photo as well. So Darla has got those panels on the side, and then she had the full one to the right. Now she also has on hers 2 film strips just above her photos, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ink in some film strip here, and I'm using the citrus oxide here, and I'm just going to do a double overlay with that. I'm really just basically wanting it to be a hint or a shimmer in behind what I'm going to be doing on the layout, and most of it will disappear under the embellishments that I'm adding, but that's okay. It's just like a hint of or a shimmer in behind. So I've just put that down, and I'm cleaning up my brush. It's always good to have that spare piece of white to the side, and you can just clean off your brush easily, making another piece that I'll use somewhere down the track to die cut or as a backing or something for an embellishment. So I'm adding in these strips here. These are the 2 side panel strips that you see in Darla's, and I'm bringing the peach in through these strips here. So I'm just running my fingernails down the edges to take off those paper burrs. It's a bit of a frustrating thing that happens, but unfortunately that's just part of the brand of the paper. Regardless of how sharp my blade is, I always get a paper burr when I'm using this pad of paper. So I have my 4 photos here, and they are of the koalas at Sydney Zoo, and that was during Glow recently this year, and they were very active at night, and it was nice to see, and you could see their cute little faces as they're looking, and he was very, very helpful looking out at us, and you can see the blue and the greens of the lights behind. I'm just going to tuck in a little journal square there to the top, and I have these tickets down the bottom here, which I'm going to add in just as Darla has on hers. And I have chosen the colors from the photos to highlight the photos. And then on my Cricut, I have cut the title, and it is in pieces at the moment, and we're going to put it down. I'm just gluing it into place, and it does say Curious Koala Beneath the Moon, and that's what I've put as my title. And you can see there that I've got all different fonts happening, and I'm just patching it together. It didn't hold in the world very well, but that's okay. This is part and parcel of using the Cricut, but I have got different fonts and different spacing, and it's allowed it to come together, and I actually like how that looks. Now I have the little bits that I need to add into there to make that word into a koala, and I probably should use those reverse pliers or reverse tweezers, but I actually don't. I still struggle with those. I'm still learning how to use them. So fingers are good enough in this case. So I'm just putting down the last little triangle bits there in the A's, and you can just see now that that word says koala, and that's how that has come up. And I really like it. It's very cute on the layout. Just taking out that little bit in that triangle there to make sure that it is nice and clean. So I'm adding in a Zoo Pass ticket there, which I have got from a Scrap-A-Sketch printable range, and I'm adding in some more tickets up to the top there in the different colors of the photos, and that's allowing the dragging of the colors around the layout to make it all balance out nicely. And I just like how these colors all complement what is going on in the photos. So I'm just going to pop up some now. I think Darla had some flair in hers on these points, and I'm just going to add flowers in, and I'm just going to pop those up with some foam tape so that they just come up a little bit, add dimension and interest to the layout, which is pretty flat really. I haven't actually lifted much on this one at all. So that's how that's all blended together. I have my 3 cluster points, which is really handy when you're going to go through, but I'm finding it a little bit flat in the color point. So I'm just going to add in some faux stitching around the edges here. And that's a good technique that I like to use to lift my page off the frame. And it also adds a little bit more detail to the layout. So that's working nicely like that. And it's coming across beautifully, as you can see. And I'm just adding all that detail in, and that makes just that little bit of a difference when it comes to looking at the layout. So I'm drawing in a messy border on the green here, and I'm just doing it around on the edges that you can see, and then I'm actually going to draw in the solid around those strips there, and that's going to make all the difference in differentiating each of those pieces on the layout. Now, where I have made that little bit of an error, I'm just going to put in some hashtags there and put some on the opposite side, and no one will know that I've just had a little bit of slip up with the pen because it's now covered up. I'm just going to pop in some pops of colour here at the 3 strategic points to enter in and make my visual triangle so that it stands out. And the third one has to go in that top cluster up there, so it will go into the journaling pad, but that's okay. And I'm just going to flick in underneath, and that will flatten them out nicely, and that creates your little faux enamel dots. Now, the last thing that I need to do is I went off screen and I did add my journaling to that journal tag, and I am actually going to now just add in some white splatters, and I'm going to use the Dina Wakley Opaque White, which is really good, the gloss. I do find it after a while it's getting a bit thin. I don't understand why it is stored properly, so I don't know, maybe it's a batch. I might need to purchase a new one. Got a nice big blob there, which is not helpful for anybody, and I will remove that. That's the one good thing, is that I can actually move it with just my finger, and then I'm just going to go back in and add a few more splots over the top, and there you go. Anyway, it all looks like it was meant to be. So putting in those splatters, just add that little bit of extra interest to the layout and give it that little bit of a boost from being so flat. So that's how this has come together. As I said, there will be 10 of us if everybody is playing. They'll all be linked in the playlist down below. This is a great little layout. Please have a go at creating it. We love it if we inspire you to have a go. Check out Darla's Instagram and her other social media, which will all be linked down below, because it's really nice to go and let them know that you admire what they have created and what has inspired others to create from. So once again, that's another Scraplift Crafternoon wrapped up for today, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Give me a thumbs up, happy scrapping, and I'll see you real soon over in the next video.